Greetings to the whole world. This is Lwandile here, the leader and the instructor of Manekwe School. And today we're actually going to be doing exercise 2.13 from student B's perspective. I know it's a pretty straightforward problem. I mean, it is a challenging question in a way that they even decided to put these two asterisk signs, these two stars over here. So it means it's a bit challenging. But if you happen to master and point out, or observe rather, if you did observe this pattern here, then you're good to go. There's absolutely nothing challenging about this problem. However, I am gonna give another solution. Right, so let me simply call my class exercise 2.13b, because as you guys know, you can do things in many ways when it comes to programming. So that's why I want to do it a little bit differently this time around. Okay, before I do so though, let me copy and paste this link here, because this is actually a link that will take you to a website that you'll be, in fact, it will take you to the PDF itself. Your part will be to simply hit the download button. That way you're gonna have your own copy, so that you don't have to keep watching without giving any attempts on these problems. Okay, so what you want to do, the very first thing we would want to do will simply check this constant, you guys. This 1 plus 0.004417, it's there on our first month amount. It's also there on our second month amount. Again, it's there on our third month amount, and it will also be there on the subsequent months. Okay, so let's take that out of the way first. Let's just go public static int, or in fact it's a double data type we need. Okay, and then call it what? Okay, our constant. Of course, this isn't the best constant name there is to pick. You can come up with whatever that would make sense for you. In fact, we don't have to. Okay, let's just go 1 plus, simply copy and paste this number here. It's 1 plus that. But if, like, mathematically, you know, this is actually 1 point, that you don't have to put the plus sign. That is our constant over there. Okay, what you will then do is to create a scanner, as always. No scanner. I cannot wait working with files, so that you will see why we keep saying scanner equal to no scanner. But once we start working with files, you'll see how useful the scanner class is. By class, I mean you would understand that when you actually do objects, classes and objects. Okay, anyways, we don't have to bother ourselves about then, at least not for now. What matters now is to take care of this problem here. So the very first thing we do is simply prompt our user let's do it this way this time. Of course you can do this, you guys, because we've been doing it this way for quite some time. You can also do this, and in fact it's one and the same thing. It's like declaring some integer x and then later on initializing it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Again, let me play around with it a little bit. Let's just do this. System.out.print. We're actually prompting our user. Enter a monthly saving amount. Okay, what you will then do, now that we've declared our scanner, will then use it you can also do this double initial amount. This is also allowed to, I want to keep programming in different ways so that you'll know what kind of things are allowed and what kind of things are not allowed. Of course, I'm not gonna cover the whole programming concept, right? But I am gonna try to point out whatever I can. So amount is actually equals to input dot next double. Okay, now that we've read the user input, it's time to compute the first amount. Double first month. Oh gosh, what can I type? First month amount is actually equals to our initial amount multiplied by our constant. What we will then do is to have another variable that will hold second month amount. Which will simply be the sum of initial amount plus our previous plus first month amount plus first month amount. Okay, you multiply that by our constant. Of course, you don't wanna pick something like our constant, because that's not, I've said it before, it's not a good variable name, but I wanted something that will point out the fact that student can be a little bit stupid sometimes. I remember when I was actually doing my first year and my lecture was Anbani. There was his last name, his first name, that's actually his first name, Anbani. I'm not quite sure whether it's his last name or first name. Doesn't matter. The point is, Pillay Anbani, the lecture at UKZN, when I was actually taking my first year course on programming, like I remember I had a variable and I named it something way too stupid in a way that he even announced it in front of the class. I mean, and I could tell that was me because he said something I did on my code, and I thought, hey man, I should make sure next time I don't do such a mistake, because I was so embarrassed, even though I was the only one knowing the fact that I did that stupid mistake of naming variables. Of having variables with stupid and less convincing names. Okay, so what else we want to do? That month. Oh, by the way, that lecture is actually at Westville. It is actually in South Africa, UKZN, at Westville campus. By the way, he's the best lecturer you can think of. I mean, the way he explains, he treats his one just like a kid. You would say he is. You would literally think he is teaching grade 1 kids, the way he explains things. I mean, he's pretty good if you ask me. Okay, enough with the talking. Let's continue. It's initial amount plus second month amount. You multiply the whole thing by our constant. You multiply the whole thing you multiply the whole thing by our constant. Why am I having an error here? So I forgot the I. Okay. Of course, we can copy and paste this. But I told you guys, this idea of copying and pasting the code is not okay. I mean, I remember I've made lots of mistakes, logical errors, just because what I did is I used copy and paste. Can you imagine if we happen to leave this year as second month amount? Definitely that's going to affect our final solution, right? So that's why I strongly recommend you don't copy and paste your code. Just go through the process of typing, even though it might be annoying sometimes, but it's not like you have too much of a choice. Okay, so we've got a fifth value. Let me not copy and paste. Double sixth month amount, which is actually what we're interested in, is given as initial amount. Initial amount, that's initial amount plus 5-month amount. Fifth. Why do I keep typing 5 instead of fifth? Fifth month amount. Look, I did one and the same mistake here. It's fifth month amount. It's amount. Fifth month amount. Of course, this part we can copy and paste. What seems to be a problem here? It's fifth month. I forgot a letter N. Okay. So now it is actually time to display our output. Print, when we will be using printf. So let's simply display after the 6th, not year, month, the account value is $sign first, and then we go to 0.2. This will do it, and then we simply put 6th month amount. Let's hit the run button and see what we get. Let's put 100 here, not 110, 100. Oh damn, why is this? Okay, that's simply because we forgot putting, in fact I did two mistakes here. And the first one is to not put this percentage sign, and secondly I put a comma instead of a period. Okay, now let's rerun it and see what we get. Boom, we got what we expected. This is the value here. It's 608.8. Why am I getting an 82 instead of an 81? I mean, you did get an idea here, you guys. And the point was, and the lesson here was that you can, of course, declare your constant outside the main method and use it inside your main method, especially if you got something which we not covered yet, something so-called methods. Yeah, if you've got something, if you're working with methods, basically, you can declare your constant outside the main method. If you want to use those constants, on different methods, you can of course do this. Declare it outside of your main method. And secondly, you don't necessarily need to declare and initialize your scanner, right? Your scanner is just like, you can think of it as a variable, but it's not. It's an object, and I don't want to go deeper with objects because it's something that we haven't covered yet. But you can, just like we did here, it's one and the same thing, declaring a variable and then later on you initialize it. It's not like you always have to go scanner equals to new scanner all the time. I mean, it's totally up to you how you do things with programming. And if you think you can point out where I could have, and what I'm trying to say here is, if you think you know why we have a 2 here. In fact, I have found my error. Now I know where the mistake is, but I want you to let me know. I wanna know what is it you think is the reason behind having an 8.2 and not an 8.1 after a decimal point. So that's pretty much it, you guys. If you haven't yet subscribed on my channel, please do so. And you can put a thumbs down or a thumbs up. That's totally up to you. And I will also appreciate it if you share this video. That way a lot of people are gonna improve their problem solving skills. That's pretty much it, you guys. See you on the next tutorial. I'm gone. Cheers.